I'm Louisa DC, and in this video I'm going to take you through 5 mistakes you could be making on your writer homepage. If you want to sell more of your non-fiction writing work, you need to make sure that the homepage of your website is set up correctly, because if you know much about your writer platform, this is prime real estate and the most important piece of your writer platform. So, if you've never met me before, I'm Louisa DC and I teach writing and publishing, and I'm also a digital strategist. I've had 2 memoirs published traditionally, and I also worked for a very long time in digital communications and strategy, which is where I get a lot of this background knowledge about writing for the web and usability and copywriting and marketing and messaging. I love strategy because it's basically the quickest way to get to a goal. So the reason that I think you need to know about this important piece of your writer platform, which is your website homepage, is it is really, as I said, the prime real estate. It's your shop front to the digital world. And if you want to sell even your manuscript, if it's a memoir, people make their decisions less than a second. You have less than a second to prove who you are and certain things to capture your audience and get them to believe or trust or do or take the action that you want them to take. And if the action that you want them to take is to commission you to write this memoir, you want to make sure that you have set your website up correctly. It is the most important thing you can do, and it's going to take you very little time to make these tweaks, but they make a huge difference. So 5 mistakes that writers make with their homepage. The first mistake, why have I put that down the bottom? The first mistake is I land on your homepage, you've got less than a second to capture my brain and for me to understand what you can do. And I look at your website and I think, who are you and what can you do for me? Don't make me work. Don't make me have to think to actually understand what you do and what you write about and what your expertise is, okay? Everyone has expertise. If you're a non-fiction writer, copywriter, memoir writer, selling a book, features, or freelance journalist, or thought leader or expert, you have something to offer me, okay? This needs to be so clear from the moment I land on your homepage. And that top section of your homepage is prime real estate. If I have to scroll, you've already lost 90% of your customers, okay? Don't make me scroll to know, don't make me scroll to know who you are and how you can help me and what your expertise is. It needs to be super, super, super clear. Words you use. Writing for the web is very, very different to writing for print media and writing a book, okay? You can't use floral language. You can't, I'll get to the next bit. So that's the first mistake, making me scroll and not making it clear in that top section who you are, what your expertise is, and how you can help me. First mistake. Second is images that you're using on that top third of your homepage make absolutely no sense. So they do not help support this impression that you're trying to give me. So let's say you might have a picture of some books. Great. What is that? What's that got to do with anything? Is this your book? You have to ask yourself, is this clear to someone who has 1 second to make a decision about me? Is it clear what I write about, what I do, how I help people? Is it clear? And again, you might have a beautiful image, but unless you're a photographer trying to sell your photography work, it's pointless having that up there. It needs to support this message that you're trying to make abundantly clear in less than a second, what you do and how you help people. Okay, so take any irrelevant photos away. People like photos of you. You are basically, as an author, as a writer, you are the brand of your business, and a photo of you is really, really helpful because people trust you so much quicker if they can see a nice, clear photo of you, not blurry, not out drunk and you've cropped your friend out of it. A nice, clear photo of you if you're not sure what to put in that top section of your homepage. But just make sure that it's not, you basically need to make it super clear who you are and how you help people in that top section. So having beautiful photos or irrelevant photos, don't show me that. Thirdly, in terms of website usability, is dead links. I find it so disappointing when I'm like, okay, I really like this person. I want to follow them. I want to join their network. I want to follow them on Instagram. I click on the little icon that says, you know, Instagram, or I might click on a Twitter icon and it just takes me to twitter.com. So many of you are doing this, particularly memoir writers who, you know, just quickly whip up their website on WordPress or Squarespace or Wix. You've got to change those icons to your personal icon. And all you need to do is just go in and change that link to your own icon, or delete it. If you don't have a Twitter account, delete the icon. Please don't make me click on dead links. That just makes my impression of you go down. I am really disappointed. I can't join your network. I've forgotten about you. And it's not just social media links, it's other links. I was on a website today of a writer trying to sell her memoir, and I clicked on blog and it took me nowhere. I clicked on store, there was nothing there was nothing. So if there's something there in your, say, template for your website, take it out until you've actually got the link for it to go to, because it's incredibly frustrating in terms of usability to click on a link that takes you nowhere. And also in terms of percentages, the people that click on those links are a really low percentage. And that shows that they are invested in you and they want to connect with you and they want to be part of your audience. And when you disappoint them the first time, that's, you know, psychologically that makes people not trust you. So make sure your links work, make sure the links are clear, clean up your links. Don't have a link if there's nowhere to go, okay? So if you've only got one page on your website, that's fine. Just don't have any links to things that don't actually go anywhere. Okay, or that go to the wrong place. Okay, the fourth piece is it's not clear. So the fourth mistake that I see with writer homepages, it's not clear what you want me to do, okay? Now this is again about website usability. If I land, and this is really, really important, particularly for creative writers who think, well, I write, you know, what do I want people to do? I want them to read my writing. You've got to put a call to action on your homepage, and it has to be clear. It has to be so clear. You could do a pop-up. I know people find pop-ups annoying, but they're incredibly effective because they pop up and they distract you and they make you go, oh, okay, I'll do that. And they call you to action. Or you could put a button. You must make it a different color. Or you could say, click the link and join me on Instagram. You must have whatever you want to do. So what's your goal? Do you want to build your following on Instagram? Do you want people to read your articles and see that you see what you've written? Make a link to your folio super clear on that front page. You must tell people what to do on the internet, okay? And only give them one thing. This is another really important piece of that top piece of your writer homepage, is just give people one action to take, because people get overwhelmed as well. So website usability is really interesting. It's basically it's basic psychology, and when you are looking at your website, try and look at your homepage as if you are, you know, a 5-year-old trying to figure out who this is and what do I do, okay? So there must be a clear call to action. There's a funny story there. There's a website called uglyfunnels.com, and this really shows you that it doesn't matter, you know, it could be the ugliest funnel in the world, and a funnel is just a marketing term for an online business marketing, I guess, mechanism to get people to purchase your products and services. And a really effective there's so many really, really effective sales funnels that are incredibly ugly. And this is because they provide these clear calls to action and they work with this whole psychology of website usability, okay? So you might really think that, you know, you have to focus on having a really beautiful picture up the top and nice landscape that people have got all the time in the world. Even a really literary memoir reader is going to want to know within a nanosecond of landing on your website what you do, what you offer them, and what they should do next, okay? So it's about thinking about the user and really looking at your homepage objectively. So one last piece, and it's actually more important than the others, and this is something that writers do so much because you're writers, too much text. And this ties into the other 4 mistakes. People use the internet, people read on the internet much differently to how they read a paper book or even a Kindle. Website behavior is very, very different to a reader of a book, okay? So you need to break things up. You need things to be in headlines. You cannot have a huge chunk of text. Most writers, when they're setting up their writer platform, they put so much text on their homepage. They write their life story. They link to every single article they've ever had published. And, you know, they even include some childhood anecdotes. No, just take it out. You know, 150 words is actually a lot for you to have on your writer homepage. You need to focus on visuals. You need to focus on, you know, keyword messaging that really captures that person that you want to identify themselves as your ideal reader or your ideal market. It's gone to the effort of clicking on your website homepage. You need to make it so clear what you do, what your expertise is, and what you want them to do. And so don't make these 5 mistakes, because you're really losing losing readers, losing your audience. And it's really going to help you to build your writer platform if you can get these web basics off to a good start. So if you do need some help with any of this, I have a really simple program called Create Your Writer Platform. I know how overwhelming all this stuff is to creative writers, particularly to memoir writers and writers who haven't been published in, you know, media outlets before. So if you're a nonfiction writer trying to get a traditional book deal and you want to build your writer platform, start with my Create Your Writer Platform course. I take you through all of these things, like setting up your website correctly, SEO, blogs, social media, and what was the last one? An email newsletter list, the 5 assets that you need to have for your writer platform. And I take you through them really simply. I don't go into the tech side of things too much because I know that is so overwhelming, but it just makes such a difference when you get these pieces of your platform right from the start, and you can really build your audience, and it can land you a book deal. It's how people get book deals now for nonfiction books in 2022. So if you'd like to know more about that course, I'll link to it below.